worst thing to do when if you come to prison, if you ain't from a gang, the worst thing to do is to join a gang, because guess what? If you get put on in prison, you're not going to be respected. They're not going to respect you because you got put on a gang in prison. So that means the niggas are going to extort you, and every mission that's going to be on the yard. Oh nah, you got to put in work. You was a nobody here. Oh, I'm Goldilo, also known as Lil Massody. I'm from A-Trade Gangsters, and I'm currently serving a 27-year prison sentence over attempted murder. But I done did time in Arizona, Wasco State Prison, Jamestown, Centinela, Little State Chino, Salinas Valley. If you ever seen the movie Gridiron Gang, I was a Vernon Kilpatrick. I was a Mustang. That's where I played my varsity football at. In the prison, I was in Arizona, and I guess like these Bloods, whatever, they stole somebody's package, right? And they had a book in the package, and I wanted to read. Came to me like, hey, bro, like, hey, that book was stolen out of package. Woo, woo, woo. So I'm like, what? So the people who stole the package, I had to get out. I fought the blood nigga. I guess I forgot his name was Flame from Westside Paru. We went in the cell. We got down, and then my homie, they call him T Murder from Kitchen. He got down with my boy Red Eyes and Blackstone. They got down. A little just a hash situation, because stealing is the number one thing you don't do in prison. You stealing, you could get killed. You're gonna get stomped. You're gonna get your head stomped in. You're gonna get removed. So that's like one of my first little prison stories. And then like other little instances, like I'm not gonna say it's like I've been in any prison riots. Well, I witnessed a prison riot. I didn't get to get involved because we was just coming from school, but it was a white boy Crip named Cap Earler from Rolling 60s. And the white boys didn't like it. They rushed him. The blacks beat up the Woods, and the Pisces was right there, so they whooped it because a white Crip. The white boys took offense. They took off. And then I've never seen an instance where we had a Mexican Crip, but mostly Mexican Crips. Mexicans, they don't like that shit. They want to take off because they ain't with their peoples. I ain't never witnessed it, but I heard stories.
Yeah, they say on the West Coast, racial segregated. Can you explain that?
Yeah. You with your peoples, the blacks with the black. When you first hit the county jail, the blacks with the blacks, the Mexicans with the Mexicans, they do their thing, we do our thing. And then when you come to prison, it's the same, and you got to break it up. You got the Bloods in one area, you got the Crips in one area, you might got the Bay Areas in one area, the Northern Crips in one area, you got the Southsiders, the Serenos in one area, the Norteños in one area.
What happens if somebody comes to prison and they white and they talking to black people, dealing with Mexicans? What happens to that person?
Well, if normally they gonna fall in line. If the white boy, if he ain't no Crip, no Blood, or he ain't no Southsider or Northern, he gonna run with the whites. He gonna run with the Woods, because you run with if the white boys, if you ain't, well, we had an instance with the white boy. He wasn't no Crip, but he fucked with the blacks. So he rolled with us. And all right, the white boys when they trip, we gonna help. But normally if the white boys, they gonna be with the white boys, because they gonna, if they not aligned with no gangs, they're gonna be with the white boys. It's like, but it was a white boy up here, he fucked with all niggas on the streets, but to survive in prison, he got to be with his peoples, So everybody with their peoples, so it's survival, but it's political.
So there ain't no question, you got to.
If a white boy want to run with the niggas because you fuck with the niggas, then it gets real political. We gonna have to come to blacks. Gonna like, okay, is we gonna ride with him or what? Like some instances, it's like if the blacks gonna have his back, all right, we keeping him. If not, go with your peoples, because we ain't about to go to war with the white boys behind you. Go with your peoples, But if I understand if a white person grew up around majority of all blacks, he gonna come to with us. But if you don't got no gang ties, they're gonna fall in line with their peoples, because their peoples gonna go holler at them. Even with Mexican Crips, the Southsiders, the Mexicans, they gonna take it as offense. Like what? Because I had a homie, problem child from 5-1 Trouble. The soon he got the reception, I heard the Mexicans took off on him because he was a Mexican Crip. That's what they gonna do. But it's crazy because we got it's black Southsiders. We don't take off. We don't rush the black Southsiders. That's your gang. That's what you want to choose to do. Go. That's you. You gonna go with your people. That's your people. You a Mexican. You in a Mexican gang. You gonna run with the Southsiders. Even though you black, you a Southsider. You running with the Serranos. You a Southsider.
Is there ever been a time where there was a rumor going around a prison and it turned out to be true?
Yeah, it's just rumors going on, like whoop a snitch, or he working with the police, and everybody gonna do their due diligence. But it's been times it's just like when I was telling you about my tablet, like the person who got this, who had this tablet, he was an older Southsider, and then Selly killed him based off a rumor going around like he was giving up information to the police. And supposedly, a CO called one of these convicts inmates into office to show him a video. I guess it was true. I don't know. This is just word of mouth, and his Selly killed him. He beat him to death in his cell. Look, bro, I don't kid. Every time I turn my tablet on, his face come up, his name, face pop up. It's like, bro, like, yeah, you got my tablet. Like, for real. And it's just a fucking situation. The dude, it was old and decrepit, old, hunchback. I want to say he was damn near pushing 70, but he is Southside. They don't pull no punches, bro. I got the charger notes, I waiting on the tablet. I got the face. I'm about to show you right now. Look, he right there in the corner.
Damn, so that's a dead man right there.
Yeah, and that's his name right there. You feel me?
Since he died, you needed a tablet. They gave you that tablet. That's how you got it, right?
Yeah. And that was a rumor going around. That's why he got killed. You feel me? And just like the last little murder I seen with the white boy, you feel me? He went to outside medical, and supposedly that the reason why he died because he went to outside medical and he stayed out too long. But
they assumed that he snitched or something.
Not that, but underlying certain times it was a power struggle to keep it all the way active. It was a power struggle, but the rumor, he went to outside medical, he was gone for too long, and he was, because I remember when he came back from because he had a rabbit in his cell, and when he came back from the hospital, like around like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, where's my rabbit? Where's my rabbit? Like, you feel me? But his boy had his rabbit, you feel me? And I didn't like the fact that it was a power struggle and they killed him. But to me it was a power struggle. All right, so it was just okay. The white boys, the Woods, Aryan brothers, the ABs. You feel me? It was like one dude came off from death row, but you know how power struggle. It was a power struggle. I don't know the ins and outs. It's just word of mouth. But the rumor why he got killed, supposedly because he went to medical and he stayed too long. Granted, whatever. Nigga do drugs. Nigga do dope. How he went man down, I don't know. But it was a rumor. And that's how he ended up getting overkilled on the yard. And that was the fastest killing I've seen. That shit happened like this. But because when the police noticed it, he was already dead. They were just overkilling him. Everybody would have got away with it. But they wouldn't have got away with it because it's on camera. They got body cameras and cameras on the yard, but they just went to overkill.
Tell the people what you seen.
They got overkill. All I seen, just, and you hear, I ain't gonna say the name, but you hear, get down. Really, when you see a knife, you shooting, the dude in the gun tower supposed to shoot. But like I say, cook it at, these cops really don't care. They want to see people die. They want to have it on their body camera so they can put this shit up on whatever, the Twitter sphere, TikTok or whatever. Overkill. After they told him to get down, he left the knife in him. The other boy got back up and stuck it in him. I'm talking about, it got to the point, man, they stuck him in the eye. I'm talking about the shit was like the knife. They had like a katana, stuck him in the eye. Boom. He was already dead. Then we had to sit down on the yard, come through the corners, come through, take pictures, all the, and it was friendly fire. And it's the funniest shit though. I ain't gonna say the white boy name. They had because it was a 2 OGs. They had one OG. He had no hand. He had nigga one hand. I'm like, he was getting jiggy. I'm like, damn, the OG putting in work. I'm like, sheesh, yeah, be like that. But every shit, yeah.
You see any famous people up there?
Yeah, my boy Yada, who rap with Mozzie, he up here.
You say you knew Hefe that be on 20.
Yeah,
What's that? No Jumper.
What? Yeah, no jumper. That's my homie from my set. Segregation. That's one of my big. That's one of my big bros. Young and Hefe. Young and Hefe. He locked up on some bullshit. I can't speak up on it because I don't know about it, so I ain't even gonna speak up on it. But that's my bro. I know him for sure. That's big bro, and if people knew Lil Sody, that was my big homie. TIP Lil Sody. I'm Lil Mass Sody Khan. Yeah,
You ever seen somebody completely lose their mind inside there?
Yeah, I seen a couple people lose their mind. And quiet as it kept, I low-key lost my mind for a minute. You feel me? But I literally seen somebody hit that shit and they mind go left and never come back. I seen it and I'm like, all right, y'all kidnapped me. I'm like, all right, y'all gonna hit that shit. Y'all mind gonna go left and it's never gonna come back. And my boy hit that shit and he spaced out.
K2. You can hit it and never come down from that?
And all right, because now you got the K2, right? But then you got people on the streets, they spraying that shit. It was like, because the last time when I relapsed and had my ordeal, bro, I'm talking about, I remember I hit it and all I remember me was sitting down. And then I remember I came to it. I'm like, I'm sorry. But I found out I was holding on to a nurse. And all the COs there was like, man, Morrison, we ain't want to go in that cell, man, because you was too big. We ain't know what was going to happen. And they told me I was foaming around the mouth and all that. And they said that came from roach spray. That came from, people spraying their roach spray. But people spraying that shit with a horse trank. People putting fentanyl on that shit now, horse tranquilizer on that shit, bro. It's like that shit, bro. It make you fight demons. It don't matter. Like my pupils turn black. I'm talking about my hands is like, if you can't even see the scars, I'm talking about my hands was so split open and like I fucked up this whole, like, bro, nigga, I had a fight with the cell and the cell won twice. Being I relapsed and just trying to escape this motherfucker. And me, when I used to smoke that shit and get high, I just put my music in. And then my cellies know once I put the music in, and then once I do this, they know I'm about to go on one. They know. And I'm like, oh shit. Me and one of my closest homies, nigga, tore his cell up. Let me know, like, bro, you ain't little in here, and I ain't little in here. Like, and we tore that cell up, and I didn't know it.
Tell the people how tall you is.
I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2" and 230 pounds, like 235, 232 pounds. I know how to use my weight and everything, but I'll damn near lost my mind to that shit. It's people around this motherfucker losing their mind. You feel me?
Debo from Friday, is there anybody that's like that in there that's feared?
It's like me. It's like I'm not even gonna put the 10 on the 2, but I'm not the type of person to talk to people sometimes. It's like me, all I know is violence, and I talk aggressive and I do that to police. I chastise the rookies. Like, bro, when I get into it, like, man, take that body camera off and watch you get beat up. Come on. Like, and I got the lieutenants, stop threatening my COs, man. Tell them stop fucking with me. Like, cause I'm gonna challenge them every time. But even with certain inmates on the yard, it's not the fact that, I'll be trying to be a bully. It's just I'll be talking to people in a certain way, but I talk aggressive. And they be like, bro, you better stop doing that. You be thinking you just a bully. Now, I am a bully. I'm a bully who don't like bullies, though. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Like, because people think they can take my kindness weakness, and I'm Mr. Get Off Quick. And people know it's like sometimes I used to be a pressure case. Somebody would tell me something. I'm like, yeah. And then, hey, bro, you say this? Like one instance, I had a celly, and he pumped it up. He was telling me, oh, the homie said you ain't about this. Like, what? Oh, for real? Oh, yeah, I'm about to whip his feet. And it's like one of my homies, my boy Porky from Shotgun. You feel me? He kept coming to the yard and he was shaking all the homies' hands, but didn't shake my hand. And on the street, we fuck with the shotguns. Us and the shotguns is like this. So I took that as disrespect. Like, bro, you coming on the yard shaking all the homies' hands, but you ain't shaking my hand, bro. I'm a low. Like, bro, I'm a somebody. Like, and I felt disrespected. So I told all the homies, like, hey, bro, when I get done with my GED test, I'm coming to the yard and I'm laying down the yard. It was like, all right. I took the same day I passed my GED test. I told one of the homies, bro, look, because the homies on the upper yard. I said, bro, before you even get to the upper yard, bro, I'm gonna lay the yard down. All the COs, they see what's going on. They see me animated. The sooner I come through the gate, I peel out my shirt and I beeline straight to the basketball court to where we fight. We fight by the handball wall. And I see the homies. One of the homies, they already knew what was going on. I shook the homie's hands. And I'm telling the homie, hey, tell Porky, man, bro, I want to fight, bro. He trying to tell all the homies he ain't trying to fight, bro. Come see me, bro. Like, we can fight, then we can talk, you know. So he trying to talk, but I ain't trying to fight, you know. And we thunder, you know. Now Porky, he like 6'4", 6'5", bigger than me, like two, you know. And we fought for like a good minute, but how we fought, I didn't fight him like he was an enemy. I was not fighting him trying to hurt him and all that. It was like we just had a homie fade, like and we talking like when we fought. And to this day, even the CEO say, man, Morrison, you and Lewis was the best fight we seen on the yard because we was two heavyweights thumping. We put on for the blacks to letting other races know, like, yeah, some heavy hitters, y'all, you're gonna have to do something to us. But you know, that's how I assert, just like I push my weight around, but I don't abuse it. I don't extort nobody and doing all that because I know I'm a big guy. Somebody's gonna try to do something to me. Like I told you a couple weeks ago, I fired a nigga shit up and he put out a big ass knife, but he didn't use it. And I really see, like, I'm a big ass person. Everybody's not gonna fight.
What happens if somebody's in a gang and they get an order to do something and they refuse to do it? What happens to that person?
You get dealt with.
Straight like that.
Yeah, it's just like, because I'm from Matrix Gangsters, I'm in a gang. It's rules and regulations. Now, say for instance, I just came to this yard and I'm the new homie on the yard, and a situation arise. I'm the new person on the yard, and if a situation got to get handled to show that I'm with the bullshit or with the shit, I gotta go on that mission. And if I don't go, my homie's gonna do something to me. So if you got an order to do something and you don't do it, your homies is gonna come check you. You don't get whooped. It all depends on what type of thing you got to do. But if we have a meeting or a powwow and they saying, hey, crime, hey, you and Goldie got to go do something. You say, I'll go do it, but you don't want to go. Oh yeah, me and the homies, we gonna get you, you know, because we feel like you ain't trying to go. And then it's like certain times we have meetings, like me and homies, like we call meetings on the yard. And we try to push stuff in order, and then we got homies. Man, I got a family visit coming up. Nigga, fuck your family visit, nigga. We don't care about your family visit. You got to put in some work. But you know, everybody want to feel like it's a whole bunch of chiefs and not enough Indians when it comes to like certain politics. Like just because you making money and this nigga ain't making no money, don't make him always go put in some work. It's like, cause me on a dead homies, I don't respect the nigga pockets. On this yard, you can have all the money in the world, but that's not gonna make me respect you. What have you done on this yard? You ain't putting in no work. I just want to say in California, if you on a level 4 yard and you ain't getting no 115s for no violence and you're in a car, like you boo-boo. You just trying to pay niggas to do shit. Cause I'm not gonna say his name. The homie tried to pay me $500 to go do something because I don't got no money on gangsters. Nigga, you got to put in your own work around here. I'm certified. I understand. You got to put in your own work. Just because you don't want to catch a 115, I don't care. You know, I just got my 115s for just ass whooping and a cell phone. The cell phone they found in my cell. You feel me? Like I
say that for all the young people thinking that they want to join a gang and they ain't about it. You gotta put in work.
The worst thing to do if you come to prison, if you ain't from a gang, the worst thing to do is to join a gang, because guess what? If you get put on in prison, you're not going to be respected. They're not going to respect you because you got put on a gang in prison. So that means the niggas are going to extort you, and every mission that's going to be on the yard. Oh nah, you got to put in work. You was a nobody here. Take this and do it. I seen it happen here, but then prison niggas that get put on in prison, they have something to prove, so they have to prove themselves. So they hotheads, they torpedoes. They gotta go. They gonna have to go. You don't go because you got to show that you with it. And then me, I'm just saying, if you came to prison a non-affiliate, stay a non-affiliate. 9 times out of 10, you might got some families that's in the gang, or you got gang ties with people. Just stay neutral and don't get in shit. But once you get involved in some gang shit, you tied in. And then if you cut in a prison gang, that's worse. You gonna have to do stuff. You have to. And certain people don't want to do it.
What's the wildest thing you seen somebody do while high?
Just screaming and shit. I could say for my instance, I know when I catted out, you know, nigga, what? I was over here practicing video game moves up under the table. I remember me and my boy Ace, this is my friend, my boy Ace from Do-Rock. We sitting down the edge of my bed and we both high as hell. And we tripping huh, bro, what you tripping? Like, bro, I think the homie's tripping. I'm like, bro, is you tripping on me? Like, what's up? Like, we like, niggas, you tripping? Is you tripping? You tripping? Nah, but then I heard a story talking about one dude, I ain't gonna say his name, but he was screaming, talking about, you know, do some nasty shit to him, and then he's screaming somebody's name, and I done had to sell you get high, do some freaky shit. Like, bro, like, is you cool? But he high. So it's like, I ain't about to do nothing about it. Like, bro, I know you ain't in your right state of mind, but bro, you freaky right now, bro. Like, clean it up. It ain't like some of the stuff like you see people be recording people off shit because other prisons, our day rooms ain't big like the, you know, I'm on a level 4 180, so a level 4 180, because you got a level 4 270, which is bigger, and you got a level 4 180, which is 3 pods in a building, and it's 10 cells on the top, 10 cells at the bottom, and each section, you know, is different. We all know you ain't coming. You come to the day room, how you gonna get whooped? Ain't all that you see people 50 million phones out. Ain't none of that. It ain't like these other. It ain't like out them other prisons. You ain't about to see 50 million niggas in the day room with phones out and CEOs in the cell covering up their face and what? Nah, this is secret. You know, it's secret society. People only get high off K2 in they cell.
Yeah, it ain't like Georgia prison.
Nah, but because every card got to conduct themselves but we know that as far as our homies, we tell them like, nigga, don't smoke no spice. But if you smoke spice and you come out that cell high, we fucking you up. But it's gonna be me and it's gonna be somebody else because they know we gonna punish you. We gonna give you an ass whipping to make you gonna stop doing it. You ain't gonna come out high no more. Get in your cell. We ain't caring what you're doing in your cell. Don't come out here high, because then you come out here high, you put the community at risk because you don't know what you could do because it's mind gone. You could get into it with a white boy, get into it with a Mexican, start a riot, all behind somebody being high. And the police known for hitting the button and people getting out on stretchers. I went out on the stretcher. You know, people. But as far as the homies now, they say we got a rule, nigga. If you get that button pushed on you and you go out on the stretcher, when you come back, you get in the DP. And if you don't know what DP mean, that means discipline. It's gonna be 3 people whooping that ass. It's not, we ain't gonna remove him. He's just gonna get his ass whooped. The removal is we whooping you until the police spray somebody, get up out of here. But you gonna get DP, discipline, you gonna get punched on. As far as I remember, I never got DP'd on the street, but I got DP'd in prison. Basically, okay, when I got out of prison in 2012, me and 4 other people, we came to jail for a 2nd-degree robbery. You know, really, me and my wife got into it the night before. My homie came to the house. Me and my homie Scrap, we went to the park. We chilling, we smoking. You know, we chilling at the park. You know, it's in November. What is it? Yeah, November 1st. I think it was November 1st, my grandma's birthday. Recipes, my grandma. You know, we chilling. We see a black boy and we see a Mexican. They running through the park. So I don't think none of it. Boom. Then I see 2 older homies. They come running. They one about to win. Hey, the homie old man. He damn. Hey, they stole my white chain. Bingo. I got action. So I get up. I'm like, hey, bro, check it out. They stop and then they take off running. So they gonna run somewhere. Long story short, you know, I get to them. They tell me, we ain't got no chain, bro. I ain't say nothing about your white chain. Then it was like one of them said, hey, Larry, I know you from school. Tell your big homie stop tripping. Like, no. Me, I'm thinking the homie smoked sherm. So I'm like, oh man, the homie high as hell. But his wife pulled up. Oh, bitch ass thing, give me back my chain. Like, oh shit, you do. Hey, bro. Hey, empty your pockets. The Mexican empty his pockets. The boy empty his pockets. He ain't got nothing. So the nigga had a backpack. Take the backpack. I open it. I look in the backpack. He got a laptop. I take the laptop out and I give it to his sister. I'm like, look, you can give it back to cuz. I don't care. Now, fast forward. I'm in jail. We all in jail. You know, I got the nigga name and the paperwork. He ran his mouth. He made a statement. He told. I got pointed out in the lineup. Now, mind you, I didn't know at the time, like I said, I didn't know these 2 people from Adam and Eve. I didn't know the Mexican or the nigga from Adam and Eve. While I'm fighting the case, I'm a Mac rep in Wayside in the dorm. The dude coming to the dorm, right? And like I say, this shit happened. So I don't remember who the fuck this nigga is. So when he come in the dorm, I ask him what his name is. Oh, I'm Baby Trey K from Divin Lane Bloods. I snatch his mat and I put it on the thing. He was like, hey, bro, can I talk to you? I'm like, what's up? He was like, man, when I go to court, man, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like, oh, you the bitch ass nigga. I'm like, oh, bro, we about to get down. Certain niggas thinking, oh, you want to get down for him because of his name? Nah, I want to get down because he told on me. Man, that nigga ain't told on you. I went to my paperwork and I'm like, man, if his name ain't Joking Quentin Tarver, man, I'm a bitch. So niggas seen the paperwork and looked at his wristband like, hey, man, get up out of here. It was only one blood in the dorm, and that was my nigga Big G Man from Blackstones. And he said, hey, man, get up out of here. And he, deputy guard, I don't want to be in here. Okay, fast forward, I caught this case. Fast forward, 2018, I hit I hit Salinas Valley B yard December 3rd, 2018. When you first hit the main line, you can't come out your cell until you see committee. So after 10 days, I hit committee, boom. Now I'm on a yard. I'm walking with the homies. It's me, the homie Twin from Hanford A-Trade, the homie Assassin from Hanford Gangsters, and the homie Trey Active from A-Trade Gangsters, right? We spinning the lap. We about to spin. I see this blood nigga. He doing a burpee. This nigga name is Baby Trey K for Devil Lane Bloods, also known as J-Bang. His name is Joseph Tarver. This is the man that told on me. He did a burpee, but he act like he seen a ghost. Like, you feel me? And a person like, say for instance, I'm gonna get off subject. Like, say hypothetically speaking, somebody told on you, right? But you ain't got the paperwork to prove it. But the look when he see you, like he's scared, like he know what's up. So I asked the homies, I'm like, hey, that's Wooty Woo. It's like, yeah, you tripping off his name? I'm like, nah. I'm like, he a snitch. He told him. It was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Granted, I don't know all the layout of the 4-yard. This is my first 4-yard. This is my first prison 4-yard. I only hit a 3-yard and I hit a 2-yard. So this is my first 4-yard. Me not knowing all the politics is certain shit that's going on, but my homies know if I was in the wrong, tell me I'm in before I do something. If I'm about to do something wrong, let me know. All these niggas know they got the rule, but they didn't tell me what not to do, right? So I seen one of my blood niggas, Bambino from Swans, that I was in the county with. I'm like, hey, Bambino, spin a lap with me. So while I'm talking to him, I'm like, hey, bro, hey, Wooty Woo? He was like, oh, man, for real. So after they spin a lap, he go back talking to him. I see him, they talk whatever. They yard recall. So I guess the Bloods went to go tell my homie that I brought allegations up on his homie. So one of the homies, they keep coming to me, man, what's your pop's address? I give him my pop's number, the address. Hey, tell him it's here. Wooty woo woo. These niggas at the time, I wasn't fucking with my wife at the time. They kept trying to call her, and she's like, stop calling me, I don't care. So whenever the case may be, I guess the homies do a conference call. One of the big homies, Baby Spike, told the homies, like, get a homie into the new year. If he don't have the paperwork by the new year, get him off the yard. Why? The next day, they used my nigga Wally from Trouble. He was a macro on the yard to get me out on the fake medical ducket. So I go to medical, hey, I got a ducket. No. I go to mental health, I got a ducket. No. So I guess they tell him to call me up over there because I don't know niggas on the yard like that. So when the homie Wally called me over there, I go, hey, the guard, Ms. Lopez, she let me through the gate. I shake his hand and I shake somebody else's hand. Next, I get dope fiend. Boom. You feel me? And I left my knife in the cell. You feel me? And my locks wasn't that long and I didn't put him in a ponytail. So I get dope fiend. Boom. So all I'm doing, I fire they shit up. Like I swing my little punches and then I just, I couldn't do nothing. Nah, boom, and all I'm waiting for them to throw the bomb. After they throw the bomb, I can fight. I'm like, I'm about to fuck you niggas. I'm gonna kick them. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But we go back and niggas want to tell me, oh, if we took the Bloods asked you why you come back, we told them don't sign a chrono. You said nah, fuck that. They tried to make me lie. Nigga, I'm not lying. Dead homies like, nigga, what the fuck? The next day we come back to the yard. I ain't never had a black eye before. Like I never got packed up like that. So I go in and say, hey, Pops, man, when you know your son to have a black eye? Like never. So we on the yard the next day, I'm doing burpees. Everybody coming to me, hey, Soda, you strapped up? On Gangsters, I'm strapped up. You feel me? I'm doing my burpees, but I'm watching the movements on the yard. All the blood start coming on this side of the yard. I'm not worried about these bloods. I'm only worried about one nigga, the nigga that told him. He's looking at me and I'm looking at him, but I'm like, nigga, what's up? I'm looking at him like, what's up with me, like, bro. But my big, one of the homies, Tiny Timmy, was really he a Muslim. He denounced and said he a Muslim, but one of the homies gave him the okay to be super A-Trade gangster. You feel me? But he talking to one of the homies, and then another homie, the homie Wiggles from Broadway was asked him like, hey, bro, like, what's going on? I feel you excluding the A-Trade gangsters from the gangsters because we all went together. But the homie Tiny Timmy Tucker, he was trying to exclude the A-Trade gangsters from the rest of the gangster card. He tried to tell me, don't show the homie the paperwork and all that. Nah, I run gangsters. I don't just push strict A. I run gangsters. You feel me? So he trying to talk to the homie like, hey, we need your assistance. And I'm like you've been down for so long, but you don't know how to be political with talking to this nigga. I'm like, look, check this out. I just need to get on the phone. He was like, how long you need? I just need 5 minutes. After Chow, we went to Chow, came back, he pulled up on me. I didn't have that phone for 30 seconds. Nigga, damn near everybody in that prison who had a phone got that paperwork to show. My pop showed the paperwork. My pop, he ain't tell. I'm like, bro, he told. He read the shit, and my cellie, they reached up 20. He was like, bro, on East Side 20, tell him to screenshot that shit and send it. He screenshotted it, sent it, boom. The next day, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm antsy. I got packed out by my homies. And niggas I don't know. So I'm low-key antsy. I flushed the plastic knife he gave me. I asked my homie G-Rock from Marvin to give me some metal. Boom. I put it on me. So when I come to the yard, I'm asking Wickles, I'm like, I'm straight. He was like, sure enough, you straight. So I went to go, we was walking and we ran into the Bloods, Champ from PDL and Rice from PDL. And they was like, man, look, we talked to our big homies, man, we can't touch him. We just keep him away from you. Huh? What? Y'all seen the paperwork. He a snitch. And y'all can't touch him? For sure. All right. But granted, found out, he had a little money. So they was, he was getting extorted. But that's one of my stories, how I got dirty politics and got DP. You feel me? I learned the lesson with that one, because my pop always just tell me I'm gonna write a check, my ass can't cash. I wrote a check, my ass couldn't cash, but it was dirty politics. But I learned my lesson with that though. Dude, if you come into this full yard and you got that hard extra gangster step, dead homies, you're gonna have people test you. They gonna see what that's like. People always walking around with a mean mug and aggressive. People gonna test you and see what you about, and you better answer the call.